You're listening to Women in Wellness, a program to help you create gorgeous growth for your blissful business in health and wellness. I'm Dr. Gabby, holistic health expert and founder of Women in Wellness, a one-of-a-kind course and community designed to empower and inform you about how to build a purposeful and profitable holistic business. I'm really excited for today's interview. I've invited a terrific guest, Brittney Castro. Brittney is the founder of Financially Wise Women, a financial planning firm for women. She specializes in working with busy professionals and entrepreneurial women who want to gain clarity around their money. She's been featured in several media outlets such as the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and CNBC. Hi, Brittney.
Hi, Dr. Gabby.
And we're coast to coast today. You're in LA, I'm in Miami. We're both.
Isn't that so cool, the way we do business these days?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Although it's been happening for a few years now, I still am like, this is wild.
Yeah. And I feel so connected to people all over the place that I probably wouldn't normally have the opportunity to meet in person.
I know. It's amazing. It's really a cool time we live in, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I want you to tell us a little bit about your story and how you started Financially Wise Women for those of you who don't know your work yet. Can you share some of that with us?
I would love to. I started my career at a financial planning firm right out of college. So I was 22 years old. I mean, I'm little. I'm only 5'2" if I wear heels. So, I was definitely an oddball. Most of the industry is men, and specifically older white males. It's just, typical demographic of the industry. So after about 5 years at that firm, I realized, one, I love financial planning. Two, I'm really good at it. And three, I am not meant for corporate America.
No cubicle? You're not meant to sit in a cubicle?
I think being like such a unique person in the industry, I always felt this disconnect. Like I was working to be somebody different than who I really am. And I finally got brave enough to say, oh, I'm way more entrepreneur minded. I have a lot of ideas of how I want to work with clients, how I want to grow my business, and this platform is just not the best fit. So what do I need to do to figure out what the fit is? So after about 5 years, I left that company and I went to an independent company in West Los Angeles. And that's when this was 2010. So I got my certified financial planner designation, really made sure I was developing my knowledge and my skill set to serve clients. And also, this is when I really decided to specialize in working with women. So I started to study religiously women and money and really learn it, the ins and outs of tactical financial planning, but also so much of the emotional and the spiritual sides of money, so that I could be more of a holistic financial planner for people, and also just begin to work with the women that I wanted to work with, more like me, like you, professionals, entrepreneurs who are out there doing great things and really just wanted a partner to talk to them about money in a way that made sense and help them with a plan and help them with their goals in a lot more casual and innovative way. And this was also around the time in which social media started to become very popular. So I would look and I would say, oh my God, there's these YouTube channels of fashion and beauty experts talking about,
makeup and jewelry.
And I thought, oh, that's so fun. I want to be able to talk about money that way. So I thought, why don't I just start my own YouTube channel? And at that time, I mean, even though I had more freedom than the previous firm that I was at, it was still so much compliance that I had to go through, and all these obstacles and hoops to jump through just to create a YouTube video. I mean, the financial industry, we have a lot of rules and regulations. So it took me working with them and really saying, here's what I want to do, and being more of a pioneer to leverage social media for financial planning. And I made a lot of mistakes, but I continued at it. And after 2.5 years there, I had enough credibility, enough momentum then to leave that company and start my own. So Financially Wise Women is a financial firm based in California, but I do work with people and clients all over the U.S. And it's 3.5 years old.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, it's great. And my business model is very unique. It's kind of like half online, half offline. I still work with one-on-one clients, but I have an online course called the Money Class, so I help a lot of people through that online program. And then I just have a big component of my business is also the speaking and consulting with other brands and partnerships around women and money and entrepreneurship. And I think those are just all my passions. So I've been able to really develop, like I always say, 3 pillars of my company that I love each pillar for its own reason, and I think they all work together nicely, and it's just a way for me to help people at all different levels and really enjoy the work that I do. So I feel blessed and fortunate to have what I have and, have created something that was just once an idea in my head.
I'm so fascinated with your career because when I was, a young person, a teenager and college student, the last thing that I ever thought about was money. Like I was dancing, I was painting, I was doing my healing modalities, and money never even occurred to me as part of that process. I was like maybe more right-brained or something. What was the catalyst for you to get into finances to begin with? Was it just like that you wanted to make a lot of money, or that you saw, like, what was the draw?
It's an interesting question because it wasn't like I knew when I was in college. I had no clue I'd be a financial planner or have a financial planning business. It was just kind of the journey and evolution of my career. But I always wanted my own business, and I thought, okay, I would love to do like I thought I want to open up a restaurant. And I was like, nah, you'd never have days off if you have a restaurant. And then in college, I studied business economics because I knew like business was always my thing. Like I love the idea of a business. And when I studied that though, I mean, it came easy to me, but also I thought, I can never be a financial analyst or accountant. It's so boring. Like I thought, well, I can't go into this like industry. And I thought I want to be an event planner. Like I love the idea of planning parties. And in college, I actually worked with an event planner. I went to UC Santa Barbara here in California, and it's beautiful. Santa Barbara's beautiful. And so there's
It's amazing.
Yeah. So there's one specific hotel and area in which I worked, and I worked a lot of events, and I thought, nope, it's not for me. It was great. I got the experience I needed to realize, oh, okay, I like planning parties, but my own parties, I don't want to do it for a living. So I talked with my career counselor, and she was like, well, you have all these job offers from financial firms. Why don't you take one of them? And I said, oh, they just sound so boring. She goes, well, the financial advising career, it's probably what you would love to do. You're helping people, you're planning, and you're going to have the freedom to make a lot of money and, kind of run your career and business however you want. And so I said, okay, let me try it. So I tried it. And, that's when I began this journey to form it into something that I love now. It wasn't always that way though.
Okay, it wasn't like you were dreaming of it.
I wasn't dreaming of it. I mean, I always dreamt of having my own business, freedom and flexibility to make as much money as I wanted. But with the financial planning, when I first started at that firm, it was very corporate. I mean, I was like super serious. I would wear all black suits. I would put my hair in a bun so tight that I would get headaches. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But I was, kind of like, I needed to do that to realize it wasn't for me, to pretend to be somebody else, and also find confidence in who I am and how I naturally work and operate, and trust that it will work if I did it my own way.
That's so great. Yeah. You also mentioned in your story that you started to study all the topics around women and money and their emotions and relationships What was there anyone that inspired you when you were doing that research? Was there any books or any resources that you were really enlightening?
You know, I've read so many finance books. I am definitely a book nerd in that sense that I just like dove into reading every finance book I could ever read. Um, Specifically with women in money, there's a few finance books that really I think changed the game for me. One was The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. I'm sure you've read it or heard about it. I mean, this book was written over 100 years ago, and he talks about just like how to create money, how to think about money, and the holistic spiritual side around money. And that was a game changer for me because everything I had learned about money beforehand was from a very tactical, analytical point of view. And I never really understood that if you don't have the other side of it, which is everything that this author talks about, the tactical plan won't work long term. It just won't. It's like putting a band aid on something, but if you never really figure out why, it happened in the first place, you're gonna just like create the same cycle over and over.
It sounds very much like the work we do in health and wellness.
Oh,
If you don't solve the underlying problem, you can take all the Advil or whatever in the world, it's not going to fix it.
it's so true. I mean, it's so true. So that one was a game changer. I mean, it's just like the universal truth around money. And then another one that I really love and still recommend is a more recent book by Barbara Stanny.
I love her.
Yeah, she's my friend, she's a mentor, and I mean, I always admired her career and her work for women in money. And her recent book, Sacred Success, I thought was so spot on. I told her, Barbara, if I ever had enough like energy to write this dang book, that's the book I would write, because it was like talking about money from like both angles, but really breaking it down for women and saying, look, here's what you need to do, and you can do it, and go for it. So I love that book and I recommend it a
What do
lot.
you see are some of these challenges that women specifically are facing with money? Like, what are there certain patterns that you see, like in your money class or in your private clients? Is there something specific that comes to mind?
There's a few. One in particular, women tend to hold a lot more shame and guilt with money. I mean, I'm sure you've experienced this. We tend to be more emotional in general. And I think when it comes to money, there's this underlying guilt that, oh, I should know more, or I should have X amount of dollars by now, but I don't. And so they feel guilty about it. Or if they have debt or made a mistake, then there's a level of shame. And I've experienced it. Like, I actually know that firsthand. And I've, like really, oh, this is real, and how do I move past this and like keep that belief that's not accurate like out of my thoughts every day. So that's one that women really just feel that shame and guilt, and it prevents them from asking for more money or doing what they need to do to get the help that they need to feel more educated or confident with their money. um, Another one I would say too is like sometimes, I don't know if this is in Miami, but I love the fact that women have made such tremendous progress in their careers and in the workplace. But also I think sometimes women, and me too, we're still too masculine with our money. And I see a lot of women who are like driving and pushing and almost like strangling, is the way I describe it, strangling their financial lives because it's out of fear or worry or that scarcity mentality, and not like being more feminine with the money. And so it's like also changing that, changing the way you feel about money, think about money, deal with money. It's not easy, but I've just known from personal experience and working with clients that when women really operate more in their feminine with money, it's easier for them. They have more peace of mind. Money comes to them more easily, uh, effortlessly. It's not like this huge push pull struggle all the time. So I really, I'm not a coach or psychologist or anything like that, but for the clients that I do work at, I always just say, look, you have to trust too. Like there's such a level of trust that you will receive the money if you do the right things with it, and know that you're always going to be protected. And I just have this belief that women really shouldn't be worried about money. And if I'm worried about money, then I know I'm operating out of my ego or masculine, and I need to like take a moment and like, no, I'm gonna be okay. I have what I need, and I know how to create the money or whatever it is that I need to do to make it happen.
Wow, that's really powerful. It sounds a lot like the journey that you described for yourself of going from corporate to being on your own and having that confidence to let your hair down and to be yourself, because corporate's very masculine, you know?
Totally. And I think that's just, most of society, we're still trained just to, think about it one way. Like, this is how you work, this is how you make money. And, I just think a lot of women really struggle with that. I struggled with it because it never felt authentic. It never was real for me. So I'm constantly trying to be somebody other than I am, which is hard. It's draining.
Are there certain tips that you give women to help them make that shift to become more receptive, more trusting, more confident? Are there certain things that you guide them to do, like practices or?
One tactical tip is to really get clear about how much money you need every year to live the life that you want. And it sounds so basic, but I'm telling you, most people don't know this number. Like they say I need more money, or they say I want to stop living paycheck to paycheck. But what does that mean? Like, how much money do you want every month? Is it $3,000, 5,000, 10,000? Like, what is that number for you? And knowing exactly why you need it and where it will go, right? Like pay your bills, save, spend, like getting super clear on those numbers, I think will help you create it. Like get the job that pays you that amount, or if you're a business owner or self-employed, even out your cash flow so that you can receive that amount every month, to make it happen for yourself. But that is like such a powerful tip to really get clear about it. And then another tip I have is to do the weekly money date. I don't know if you've heard about this, but I've been talking about money dates for years now. So just like you would go on a date with your lover or, your best friend, usually if you go on a date, you tend to have a smile on your face.
You mean you're not crying in the fetal position?
So stressed out and overwhelmed and anxious. Like hopefully the date is like a positive happening for you. Um, so thinking about your money just like another relationship that you want to improve and develop and have for the rest of your life, because money is around for the rest of our life, so we better figure out how to use it and be with it. Um, a money date is once a week where you dedicate 1 hour. It should be consistent, like put it in your calendar, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Every week at Thursday at 5, you sit down, you review your budget, you track your spending, you see what's happening, you take care of any financial matters that you need to, you review your accounts, and you bring that level of excitement into it. And it might be a little bit challenging in the beginning because especially if you're someone who's always been so stressed with money, you might have all those feelings that you have to work through. Like, why are you so stressed? Why are you so overwhelmed? Really look at it. And when you can take that time and commit to it, like a workout plan, like, if you want to get healthier and in shape, you got to go work out or,
Yeah.
right?
You just can't sit around being like, oh, I'm so fat.
Yeah,
suck.
this is like money, if you want to improve your finances and stop living paycheck to paycheck and you want to pay off your debt, you have to do things differently to get different results. So having once a week, it allows you to commit to your money, have integrity with it, do what you need to do, and then kind of give yourself that like clarity and also peace of mind throughout the rest of the week. So you're not that constant like thought is not running rampage because you knew, like you did your date and you know what's happening. So you don't need to like freak out so much day to day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see this phenomenon with the people you work with? Something that happens in the healing community is a lot of the women that I work with, they have difficulty charging for the things that they're doing or charging enough to make the business sustainable. They're uncomfortable having conversations with clients about how much they charge. Before the client even gets to respond to the offering, they'll be like, "Oh, I know that's too much for you. Like, I'll just charge you half." Like, do you hear or see those kinds of behaviors?
Yeah, definitely. And I've experienced it myself. I'm in the game too. I'm a business owner. I'm constantly trying to figure out how do I improve the value of my services to ask for more money and feel confident about it and practice that negotiation conversation. And because I've practiced it for so many years now, it's easier. Like it's way easier for me. I don't have that like, ugh, to overcome each time but I've spent time working on that. And same with my clients. Like I always tell them, look, it might be uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And you deserve the money. And something because of that worth comes up, do I deserve it? Am I worth it? One thing I always tell women is to help with that is like, one, obviously do the work that you need to do outside of the financial life to feel that for yourself. Like you are worth it. You do deserve it. But then too, coming back to that clarity piece, like if you know you need $3,000 every month, it gives you more confidence to figure out, okay, what do I need to do in terms of pricing my services or how many clients do I need to see? Whatever. You can create your marketing plan to make sure that 3,000, that is your goal. Like your life and your livelihood depends on it. If you have it, you can operate more fully. You can show up, in the world at your best self. You can save. So it's actually like a disservice, if you're not asking for that or if you don't value your services because it's only hurting you in the long run. And therefore, I think if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of anybody. So it's really just that practicing. And also, women, we're like natural negotiators. But, when it comes to the money, it's like we kind of think of it in a completely different way. But I always just tell women, look, you negotiate all the time. If you're going to lunch with your girlfriend, you're negotiating what time, when, where you're going to eat. Like that's a negotiation, right? You got to figure it out. So that's the same, like just bring those like tactics into the workplace. Or if you have kids, you're constantly negotiating with your kids. I'm sure they say, Mom, I want this, Mom, I want that. No, or, whatever it is. So it's like, just not being afraid of that conversation, I think, and knowing that you'll probably stumble. It might be really awkward in the beginning. You might mess up, but if you just go for it, it works. And also, too, if you have like specific roadblocks around certain amounts that you're charging, I mean, one thing is like practice with a girlfriend, and if your price is $3,000, practice like having that conversation with someone like a mock client conversation and charge them $6,000 just to get over that whatever hump you have with the number. So if you then when you go in and ask for 3,000, it's not that big of a deal because you've been practicing at the $6,000 level.
Nice. That's a great tip.
Yeah.
What kind of transformation are you seeing in the women that participate in your money class and your coaching? Are you seeing big changes?
Amazing changes. I had this one story in particular. So my money class is a 6-week online course.
Mm-hmm.
It's money mindset, how to build cash, how to save for your goals, how to pay off debt, invest, the different retirement accounts, tax strategies. I mean, it goes over the whole, basically, financial planning. And it's broken out into modules, so it's really digestible. I try my best, and this is the feedback I get, but I try my best to make it fun and not not boring. And women really say it is that way. It's really fun for them. But one particular client who took the money class, she was able to pay off her student loan debt, which was over $100,000. save up for a home down payment, travel for the first time, feel better about herself, not only financially, but she said she started to dress better, her relationship with her boyfriend improved. I mean, and this was all within a few short years. She took the money class, she committed to it, she learned from my teachings, from not only the tactical teachings, but also the mindset teachings, and she applied it. And within a few short years, she saw this huge transformation in her financial life. And I mean, that's just one story. I've had so many clients go through the money class, pay off their debt, save, then come back for one-on-one financial planning with me because now their financial situation was that much better. So it's really incredible. And I think like anything in life, if you devote time, money, and energy into it, you're gonna get the results. But you have to commit. And I just think the money class is a great opportunity for someone who wants, more of that financial knowledge.
I feel like this should be a requirement for all students, right? Like, why are we not getting this as freshmen in college or seniors in high school? Why isn't this happening?
It's so true. That's my tagline. I tell everyone, it's the financial class you never received growing up. So instead of complaining for the rest of your life that you never got a financial education, do something about it. Go get one, and here's the class. I'm giving it to you on a silver platter. Take it, But that's the difference. You have to want it. You really do, and you have to commit to it. And it might scare you to put money and energy and time into something like this, but when you do, you'll see the results.
Nice. So if people want to find you and they want to find the money class, how can they do that?
Come over to financiallywisewomen.com. So that's the main site. And then through there, you can click through to the money class. Open enrollment closes soon. So you definitely want to check it out and get enrolled. And, you can find all the information on there. I have YouTube videos on my site. So
Are you still actively producing the YouTube videos?
Yeah. We do them. Now we're going to create some new ideas, but they're basically 1 to 2 minute hack videos, and I try to have themes. So like every month there's a specific theme, like debt or saving or investing, so that you can watch a few of these videos and feel more knowledgeable within one specific subject of money.
You're amazing, and I'm so happy that you spent some time with us. I hope everybody takes advantage of the money class. I'm really grateful that you created that for us.
Thanks, Dr. Gabby. Thank you so much for having me. I just am honored to be able to connect with you and the women in your community. And I think it's amazing work that you're doing and being a thought leader for them and bringing more resources to the table, which is, I think, what we do best as women.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. You can join the Women in Wellness Club at women-in-wellness.com.